And boom, we're live.
Boom, we're live.
Boom, we're live.
Episode 24. I think it's 24, the live stream. MMA Complete, January 21st. 2 days out from the astronomical, astonishing, monumental, catastrophic, headlining main event of UFC 257. Conor McGregor's return versus Dustin Poirier. Also, 1 day before Austin's birthday.
Boom.
Everybody give him a happy birthday in the chat. Austin's turning 23. I'm only a week away. I'll actually be turning 23 on the podcast next week.
Oh, that's
Thursday.
lit. So we're getting lit.
Oh, we're getting lit.
Okay, drinks.
So only 2 days out from the Conor Poirier fight, and we've talked this fight to death already, and we're gonna do it again.
Why not?
Because we can.
The card itself is a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
That being said, the two main event, co-main event between Conor Poirier and Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler in the co-main event.
Mm-hmm.
Those are huge fights. And then we also have 3 highly ranked women's bouts. So that are all going to be good fights. Besides that, there's a couple undercard fights where we have like a guy undefeated or close to undefeated, but nothing of too much name.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, 257 is going to be, in my guess, the highest grossing pay-per-view of the year, just because Conor's on it.
Yeah.
We see it every year.
So far.
Conor has 5 of the top 6 highest selling pay-per-views in UFC history.
Yeah.
So like the top 6.
Donald
only-
Cerrone, which is kind of mind-blowing.
Right. Only UFC 100. Actually, Donald Cerrone isn't even in the top 6.
No?
No, it didn't even gross that much money.
I thought it was number 2 all time.
Where's Adesanya up there? He's probably getting up there.
Nah, Adesanya
Sweet.
doesn't have any that high either.
Really?
Really.
It's crazy. It's
So-
crazy how, that is crazy.
So the McGregor-Khabib fight grossed $180 million. That's pay-per-view buys and gate. The next highest is Diaz-McGregor 2, and that grossed $90 million. So the highest ever pay-per-view is double of the second highest pay-per-view.
Wow.
I'm assuming this fight's going to be in between them. I think this is going to be the second highest pay-per-view ever. I don't think it'll hit 180 mil. I think that could be McGregor was so hyped up that there isn't going to be a fight for a long time that high.
Not until the
And we
sport grows a lot.
all know what fight that would be.
GSP versus
GSP Khabib. What about Adesanya Jones?
Adesanya
Maybe.
Jones.
Jones Miocic is probably going to get a lot of views if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into the future of the heavyweight division at the back half of the show.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of upcoming fights, some scheduled, some rumored. We're definitely going to be getting into that. So far, we have, I think, 6 fights
Mm-hmm.
through UFC 260 that are either scheduled or rumored, and they're all title fights. So that's really interesting.
It's crazy. UFC is about to pick up some. We've really had nothing really to talk about these last 3 weeks. So.
Well, yeah. The
Now
Holloway
we're
Qatar
gonna be-
fight is the first fight since mid-December. I think they took 3 weeks off.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we can get
that was
into that really quickly.
Yeah, just a skim over.
Yeah, you want to talk about it? You guys watched it. I didn't even really watch it. I caught the highlights.
Okay.
I know
well,
the gist of it.
How about we just talk about the main event?
All right. We'll talk,
We'll
talk about
just the
this
main
man.
event.
All right.
Holloway versus Calvin Qatar. You guys know the name Holloway. I don't need to say his first name, but it's
Calvin
Max,
Qatar,
if
the
you're
Boston native.
wondering. Boston
Yeah.
native, and he showed it that night. I mean,
Yeah.
That's tough.
hard fucking head, man.
I think he's the first fighter I've ever seen get a medical suspension
Really, they suspended him.
just because he has to recuperate for 6 months. That's
6
basically what they
months-
said.
6
Like
months
you
recovery.
have,
He
you
should.
can't fight for 6 months. You have to get your
For you guys that don't know, he ate 480.
I thought it was 464.
I think it was in
So
the
it's
five-
probably that
I
exact
thought it was
number.
in
No,
five
it's,
hundred.
it's in the 400s.
He
He
threw
He threw
700.
700 punches.
Yeah.
Me and
That's
Dylan did the
insane.
math. Max Holloway attempted 1 strike every 2 seconds in that fight.
Wow.
Close to
And he
2
landed
seconds.
And he landed
damn
over
near
half
all.
of them.
It was a crazy.
So
He almost
strike
landed
every 4
100
seconds.
strikes a round. He set the record for most strikes landed in the round, which I think was the 5th at 141.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine getting hit 141 times in 5 minutes.
The man,
Yeah.
by the way, never. I don't think he fell down once. Austin, this Calvin Qatar guy.
I think he did get knocked down once
Okay.
when he did rock him, but it's crazy how someone can't give up like that.
Max
Getting
Holloway
punched
would end up winning.
460 times.
He won
Did
via
he ever go to the
decision.
ground?
He won via decision, and the rest scorecards were 50-42,
Yeah,
50-43.
it was like
Dana-
Like it was
way
10-8
difference.
rounds all over the
Wow.
place.
Dana White said that fight could have been ended in the 3rd round. Dana White
Just like
came
in
out and
between
said that.
rounds, was it bloody?
It was insanely
It was
bloody.
concussion central for Calvin
Like, you
Guitar.
know, the
I don't know how he
Gaethje
didn't
Ferguson
fall
fight
down.
where Ferguson was just getting his ass kicked, and then the ref stopped it because
Somebody
he saw
could have done
Ferguson
like
was.
an eye test and been like, this guy's concussed.
Well, it's what I saw. He kept coming.
Yeah,
for
he
5
did.
rounds.
He stayed in the fight. He was
Yeah.
throwing bombs. He just
Yeah.
couldn't touch him.
Right.
He really couldn't.
And I mean, someone Calvin Qatar, Boston native. I gotta assume he's gritty. You know.
Oh yeah.
And do you guys know who the ref was?
I do not know who the ref was.
It's probably Goddard or Dean. They probably.
It was Herb Dean.
It was Herb
Herb
Dean. Yeah. So Herb Dean's. You know, if someone looks like they're getting rocked, Herb Dean might stop it soon. But if the guy's still coming, he's probably going to let him fight as long as he wants
The
to.
only thing I can
Yeah.
say about that is Herb Dean's been fucking up these
He
past
fucked
6
up-
months.
well,
he's fucked
what
up.
else?
I remember he had in like a 1 month span, he had 2 fuck ups. But besides that, I haven't heard anything
Was
else.
he
That
the
early
ref of the
stoppage.
bad motherfucker fight?
Well, that was the
BMF?
doctor's fault.
With the doctor, that was a doctor stoppage. That wasn't the ref's decision.
What was it?
Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal.
Fuck that doctor, by the way.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that was
doctor.
crazy.
That
And
doctor is
Nate
not a
Diaz
bad
is
motherfucker.
cleared
Yeah.
to fight. So Dana White has already talked about that. Even though we know Masvidal Covington is coming in 2021,
Yeah.
that fight hasn't been rumored or scheduled yet.
Nate Diaz versus Tony
Nice
Ferguson.
dog.
Speaking of just getting cleared, I'll throw this out there real quick before we get into 257. TJ Dillashaw just got cleared, I think, on Tuesday. So
Wow.
he can make a fight.
See how he does without PEDs and EPOs.
Right. I don't know who he's going to fight. I know Cody Garbrandt would probably be interested in fighting him.
He's been turned down several times.
Dominic
Really?
Cruz might be interested in fighting him. Who did Cruz just fight? Didn't Cruz just fight?
Cejudo?
No, that was he did, yeah, but I thought he had a fight in between then. I don't think he did.
Dominic Cruz.
Yeah,
He fought.
I thought he just fought someone recently.
Yeah, he did. He got fucked up. I can't remember.
I think it was in the fight night with like Moraes and Fawn
Yeah.
and Thompson, Wonder Boy. I think it was that card.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get right into that. So, you guys want to hop right in 257?
Yeah. I just want to say Juan Buckley did get knocked out in the first round by a head kick.
Yeah.
Joaquin
So,
Buckley
Joaquin
got
Buckley did
fucked.
get
by a head kick.
There
Which
was
is ironic.
There was a meme.
By who?
Di Chirico?
C-
Di Chirico.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Alessio Di Chirico.
fucked him up.
I might have that last name a little skewed, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah, it's like DiChirico. I
Right,
think.
yeah. What was I just going to say about that?
I was gonna say, what's his face that beat Jacare Souza?
Kevin
Kevin
Holland.
Holland.
Kevin Holland.
That was a badass
Waiting for him
knockout,
to
dude.
fight again.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
go over all these fights. You haven't been here in weeks.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, we talked about that. That was like one of our favorite knockouts of the year.
Fighter
We
of the
did a
year.
whole superlative week
me.
where we talked about the knockout of the year, sub of the year, and all of that. And Kevin Holland was like number 2, I think.
Yeah,
Number
he
2 or
was number
3.
2. Adesanya ended up winning fighter of the
Cody
year.
Garbrandt was.
Yeah.
Adesanya won fighter of the year?
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
Are you
How do you
serious?
feel about that?
I don't think he did. I think Figueiredo did.
Against
No, it was Adesanya. I saw it on Twitter.
Adesanya beat it's fighter of the year, so it's just
Oh,
the US.
fighter of the
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he beat Romero and Costa this year, even though Romero fight was
Did he fight Whitaker
Yeah.
this year? Or
No,
was it last
that
year?
was last year. I might have that was last year.
Yeah.
I don't like
That Romero fight
But the
wasn't.
Paulo Costa fight.
I
was
think
kinda-
Figueiredo should have done it, dude. Figueiredo
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
fucking tank. He had
Figueiredo.
4 wins
Proved.
or 3 wins, 1 draw,
Title defense.
and he's the first ever fighter to headline 2 back-to-back pay-per-views. Like that
Oh,
can't
yeah,
be
dude.
ignored.
It was like 2 weeks, right? In between?
3 weeks,
3 weeks, yeah.
21 days, and they both fought on the card before. And
Yeah.
they both won in the first round, so they were just like, fuck it. let's-
Moreno dislocated that guy's shoulder.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
That was my fight of the
Which,
year.
by the way, that fight should be made in the first half of 2021. The second fight between Figueiredo and Moreno.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be a great fight.
That is going to be a spectacular.
Figueiredo was sick in the first one,
Yeah, I heard
admittedly.
that.
So I think he's going to fuck up Moreno.
Dude, he looks
I
like
think
he's
he'll beat him.
165 in that ring.
Oh, he is. He weighs in at 125, and maybe not 165, but he weighs in at 125. He's at least 140. when
Yeah,
he
he's
fights.
probably-
at
he's
least
probably around
He's
140.
crazy big, dude. Like,
he is.
Joe Rogan was saying he looks like 155.
Yeah, for that division, he looks like he weighs that much.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to start and go down, or you guys want to start and go up?
Fine with whatever.
Let's go
honestly.
down up.
You want to go down?
Yeah.
I don't really know down at all. So.
Well, I don't have the cheat sheets, so what do you guys think? Read them out to me. What's the bottom one?
All the way in the prelims.
All the way in the prelims.
Prelims.
Okay. Yeah, so we got Khalil Bountree versus Morsin Procino. Probably
So
pronounced that wrong.
Khalil Roundtree Jr. is a vet. I think he's like 10-4.
He's 9-4 with one known contest,
Right.
and Creechow's 13-5.
I just know the name Roundtree. I don't really.
Oh, not
Every time I feel like every time I see the fight and I'm like, oh, I know that guy from a couple years ago, and he's fighting someone I don't know. The guy I don't know just mops the floor with him.
Yeah, it just stays kind of in the bottom tier.
Yeah. Because I always pick the guy I've kind of heard of because I'm like, oh, maybe he's good.
And then
So-
this is one loss.
Right.
In the UFC.
But like this is what I said, like the male fights other than the main event and co-main event are not that interesting. There's like one or two.
What weight class are they?
It says it right there, lightweight.
Lightweight.
Yeah, lightweight. Let's see.
There's 4 lightweight
Lightweight,
fights.
wait.
No, light heavyweight
heavy-
is the first
light
fight.
Oh, light
heavyweight.
heavyweight.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Thank you.
But bantamweight is the next one, the women's. Which is,
Yeah, is that
Juliana.
Juliana Pena.
Pena versus McMahon?
Yeah,
That's-
I'm got McMahon.
That's a
You got
good
McMahon.
fight. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, bantamweight. So that's Nunes territory. I'm pretty sure Juliana Pena's already lost to Nunes, but then again, everybody has.
Yeah, who hasn't?
This
That's
is-
good.
It's kind of crazy.
That's not even a loss. That's like one of those losses that you just kind of just don't even look at.
I'll tell you this in
You just beat yourself up.
career
Yeah.
mode at UFC,
In career mode?
UFC 3, Sarah McMahon's always the champ.
Really?
Wow.
Always.
Ooh,
That's
Like she
crazy.
Was she
beats
former?
Nunes.
Was she former champ?
I don't think so. I don't think so because I think the bantamweight belt went Rousey to home to Nunes, and then it hasn't left.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's been a bantamweight champ in like 6 years. That's an interesting fight though. I'm pretty sure that's like number 8 versus number 10 in that division.
Yeah, Julia. What is it?
Juliana Pena.
Juliana Pena has a 3-inch reach advantage. So
It's always interesting.
Oh, look at
It's always
those reach
interesting.
advantages.
10
Yeah.
4 versus
It's-
12 and 5.
and Sarah McMahon's 40.
McMahon's
not
got
the
more
like
experience.
she's 40. So like
Okay.
Juliana,
Also,
I'm pretty sure we've definitely seen Juliana Pena fight in the last couple months. And-
women's is different though. They don't really get beat up as much as the guys.
I
Like,
like
they don't have
betting
that
on the
head trauma.
veteran if they are older. And
Yeah, do you have how old Pena is?
Yeah, 31.
Ooh,
That's
prime.
So like
That's
she's in her
kinda
prime, dude.
That's prime though.
I kind of want to go with Pena.
Yeah. Pena, I'm pretty sure. Did you say she has the reach advantage?
She has 3-inch reach.
Yeah, I'm going
advantage.
to go with Pena.
Both the same height. So
I'm going to go with Pena because we have seen Pena fight
What's-
recently and she won.
what's the last fight for each? Or
the last fight for each.
There's Sarah McMahon. Here, I'll get the Sarah McMahon one.
I think. Well, she's a mixed martial artist. Number 7. She's number 7 in the UFC women's bantamweight ranking. So
Pena's?
yeah, she's top 10.
All right. So,
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah, they're both in the top 10. So I mean,
yes.
I think this is Pena's time to
That's
really
why
shine, dude. I
there's
think this
a
is her
lot-
chance.
There's a lot of great women's fights, a lot of meaningful women's fights
Yeah.
that are going to get women into the top 5 of their division.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
stacking up the they're stacking up the amount of woman fights on cards.
They
I
really
noticed that
are.
over last year.
Yeah, they
And
need
I
to put
understand-
them on cards like this to get their name recognized, dude. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's true.
Because not a lot of people know women fighters.
And I understand it too because a lot of fight nights you don't see women fighters.
Yeah.
So whether that's designed or not, come pay-per-view time, there's not as many fighters available to fight, you know? So they got to stack them. And luckily for us, they're all ranked.
Yeah.
Like normally we see 3 women's fights, 1's ranked.
Yeah.
They're all 3 ranked and they're all top 10. So it's really interesting. Next fight, Brad Tavares.
Yep, you got it.
So we got the vet Brad Tavares fighting Antonio Carlos Jr. Antonio Carlos Jr. I believe has a height and a 5-inch reach advantage.
Holy shit. Are they both stand up style or
I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
Brad
okay.
Tavares is definitely stand up style.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they both can wrestle.
Yeah. That's interesting for Brad Tavares, depending on how he'll have to adjust his techniques.
I'm pretty sure Tavares has lost 2 of his last 3, if not all 3. And he's kind of on his way out. So I would pick Antonio Carlos Jr. I think that's
Okay.
kind of a trap fight for Tavares.
I think that's a no-brainer.
And last fight, I'll pronounce these.
Good luck.
I'll go for it.
Good luck.
In the final fight of the prelims is the lightweight bout between 15-2 Arman Sarukian
Nice.
Okay.
versus 12-3 Nasrat Haqparast.
Good job, Zach.
yeah.
Go.
Woo!
You know,
I'm
nice
sure practice that.
pronunciation.
If
I'm
I did, I totally did. If I got that wrong, I apologize because
Yeah.
that's I'm doing my best. But we
That
have
sounded good.
our
15-2.
we have our first lightweight fight of the night, and all the lightweight fights
Wow.
are
There's
pretty
a lot of
big.
fight lightweight tonight.
15
Yeah, there's
and
3.
2, not ranked. That sounds good.
Right, 15-2 for Arman Sarukian. And 12-3 for Nasrat Haqparast. That's pretty decent
All right record.
too.
Did you look them up? Do they have a lot of fights in the UFC?
I
Why is
didn't
their
look that
rank
up.
so high? They're not ranked, but they're 15-2.
Well, because lightweight, first of all, is the most competitive division.
It's stacked.
Wait, let me
true.
pull up the lightweight division right here.
It's been stacked.
Let me
for a while.
actually, so you guys can see it.
They need a heavyweight.
This is
Women's
the
division.
UFC.
Dude.
Right here, we got the
Yeah.
lightweight division. We do have like Islam Makhachev's all the way at 13. You know, Makhachev's in Khabib's camp, and he's won like 2 or 3 in the UFC. So that goes to show you the kind of competition you need to have under your belt to crack that top 15. So it doesn't really surprise me that neither of them are there.
Yeah.
Now, if one of them wins by a knockout,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it go there, especially Arman Sarukian, who's 15-2. He would be 16-2 with a win.
Yeah.
That's an impressive victory.
That's
you know?
impressive.
Dana White can sell that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I have no idea who to pick because I don't know either of them.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm gonna.
Go for the guy with the reach advantage, I guess.
Go for the guy with the reach advantage. Let me tell you right now.
It's 7.
Sakurian has a half-inch reach advantage.
Oh, wow.
And a
Okay.
better record.
Sakurian's also 24.
I think I'm rooting for Sakurian.
Haqparast is 25.
So this is a young fight, and they got both are very good records.
Right. This
I'm
is going
curious.
to be a good fight
Mm.
because both guys are going to be hungry to crack that top 15 anyway.
Make
and
their
they're
names
both pretty
heard.
similar.
Yeah.
Make their names heard, and
And
hopefully, if they are, I can pronounce them next
Dude,
time.
you know they're jumping for joy that they're on the Conor card.
Absolutely.
oh yeah, dude, this is a big opportunity.
Yeah, for any fighter, especially the ones that aren't heard. This is
Yeah.
a huge opportunity to be seen by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like the knockout of the night come Saturday is going to be played for a while just on the sheer amount of people that actually see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Especially
I mean?
on YouTube.
Like
Gonna be
everyone's
advertising
gonna
the hell
be
out of
training super fucking hard.
Absolutely.
They've known about this, you know what I mean? Even
Cool.
probably before everyone else did. So
Hopefully
And
nobody
if-
falls in the bathtub.
If Conor knocks out
Yeah, right.
Poirier devastatingly, Poirier's
Dude,
career may never recover.
I think that might happen.
Yeah.
We'll get into that soon.
Okay.
All right, so that's it.
He could fight a lot of
That's it for the prelims. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We have a special promotion here at SFBNRI. By the way, sfbnri.com. Check out all the platforms, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that shit. And we're running this new promotion. It's from a local vendor who makes tomato sauce. So we're going to play that for you real quick just to show you that we got too much sauce.
Too much stuff.
Go buy the Cucina de Catharina pasta sauce. It's better than your mama's gravy. I'm just telling you that right now. Go ahead and fight me on it. 5.0. You're not going to get a better sauce out of the jar from a store than Cucina de Catharina.
Yeah, so that's go check out the sauce. Actually, while I'm at it, because that's definitely featured on our new website, SFBNRI has a branch company called Food Junkies. So go check them out. I believe we have a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for them. Other promotions coming up soon.
And also,
I'm saving that. More to
what do you mean? This is the perfect time.
Plug it, Zach.
I didn't
Alright,
plug
alright,
it.
we'll
So
save it. We'll save it.
I could. I've gotten the okay from Ron to do it on the pay-per-view stream.
Okay.
Okay.
But I guess I could just kind of give a little preview.
Preview.
Taste.
To any of our loyal fans, love you, by the way, homies.
Netherlands.
We are going to have a new show, and it's going to be starting in February or March. I'm not sure when, but we have a new company. I mentioned that we have a new company in Food Junkies. We have a third company that will be starting sometime in February called Naked Sports. Now, Naked Sports is our uncensored, gritty company that we're going to be doing articles and podcasts for, and it's like uncensored. And me and Austin, and the reason I didn't want to say this yet is because we haven't came up with a fucking name for it.
Yeah, I know.
But me and Austin are going to be starting a gambling show.
Ooh, betting talk. Okay.
Betting talk.
Betting talk.
Mhm.
Maybe-
So anybody who watches the MMA Complete
Smart
Podcast
idea.
and you're interested in what we think of the actual betting odds, because unfortunately
Which
due
you
to
should.
Facebook bylaws, we're not able to talk about it on this podcast. But in our upcoming podcast, name to be determined,
Need to be determined.
Betting talk.
On Naked Sports, we will be talking about betting. So we will definitely be talking about UFC. We'll be talking about NFL, NBA,
Oof.
all that shit.
all that
shit.
All that shit. So definitely come check that out. Come February.
There will be number crunching. Sorry about that.
There will be what? Number crunching?
Oh, there absolutely will.
Now, I say that this show is me and Austin, but this show is definitely going to be more Austin.
Yeah. Well, everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, of course. It's going to be, we don't know the day or the time yet. We'll definitely have that updated for you as soon as we can. Check us out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. wherever you're watching this now. We're actually going live for the first time on MMA Complete Podcast YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely check that out. Go subscribe.
You're forgetting one, bro. You're forgetting one.
What's that?
I wasn't even going to talk about that podcast, but I'm talking about the MMA Complete Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I have a Twitter now, too. MMA Complete Podcast Twitter. Go follow that, too. We will be tweeting out a bunch of stuff. We'll be doing polls. Any comments we have, we'll try to answer either on Twitter and maybe on the podcast. Could start doing special giveaways, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So go follow MMA Complete on Twitter, too, as well as YouTube. Let's get back into it. We're already halfway done.
I think we're on Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Ribas.
Amanda Ribas versus Marina Rodriguez. That is women's featherweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's strawweight.
Strawweight, excuse me. Champ Weili Zhang. That fight is, I believe that's the highest ranked fight in the as far as women go, right?
Yeah, 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Oh, so I'm wrong.
So yeah, just behind the Sarah McMahon.
Women's strawweight's a very interesting division because Weili Zhang and Joanna Jędrzejczyk had the fight of the year last year.
That was a great
Did you
fight.
see that fight?
Yeah.
Best women's fight and one of the best fights in UFC history I've ever seen. Both ladies absolutely teared into each other, and they got a medical suspension without getting a medical suspension. They had to take a lot of time off. We haven't seen either of them fight yet.
Joanna left with a big head.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Joanna left with a huge bump on her head. So that division's contendership is pretty much wide open. You know,
It's basically in this card. We're gonna really.
we
find
got
out.
on the rankings. Rose Namajunas is number 1 contender in the strawweight. Young Jacek's number 2,
Mhm.
and then Yan Xiaonan is number 3. We recently saw her fight. But
She won, right?
yeah, she won in I think it might have been a unanimous decision, but she absolutely fucked up the other chick.
Yeah.
And besides that, you have a couple of the names, but nothing that really sticks out. So Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas definitely have a chance to go top 5 with a win on Saturday night.
It's huge.
I'm pretty sure that Rodriguez has the reach advantage.
Yeah.
Ribas has a 1-inch reach advantage. Ribas is 6 years younger and a couple inches shorter.
What's her record looking like? It's 12 and 2.
Marina Rodriguez 12-1-2 and
Okay.
or Marina. Did I say Marina Rodriguez?
Yeah.
12-1-2 and Amanda Ribas 10-1.
Both pretty good records.
Yeah, both. One of these ladies is going to get their second ever MMA loss. You know, so we're dealing with really really high
curious.
competitors.
There's two women fights in the main card.
Yeah, there are.
Shout out Dana
That's
White.
what I mean.
That's
And
good.
even the prelim fight is really
Yeah.
good.
Now because of, all right, we'll get it. Never mind.
All right, so someone else do the next fight.
How about it, Dylan?
We got unranked Matt Frivola, 12-1-2 versus Ottoman Azatar, also not ranked, 10-1. Very similar.
You just read the records for the ladies.
You wrote down the records for the
Yeah,
ladies.
it's,
Oh, okay. So I'll take it then. Matt Frivola,
You got mine
8-1-1
I
on
was gonna say that's the exact same.
8-1-1 and 13-0.
there you go.
Ottoman AZR is undefeated, huh?
Adam
Yeah.
Azatar is undefeated, and he's another lightweight fighter looking to get ranked.
Coming up.
This is our
Oh my
second
God.
lightweight fight
How
of the
many?
evening of 4.
How many undefeated lightweights can there be?
There's so many. I mean, if you think about it, especially in the U.S. demographic, 155 is probably the average weight of
Yeah.
a human being. What
Yeah.
do you guys weigh?
Yeah, I'm about
I'm
160, 165.
I'm only 150.
160.
Right, I'm 240. But Matt
John Jones.
Matt Frivola 8-1 versus Ottoman Azatar 13-0. And I mean, like we said for the other lightweight fight, and even probably more because this is on the main card. If these guys win, they have a shot to crack the top 15.
Yeah.
Main card. Yeah.
Ottoman Azatar has a equal reach advantage, same age, just about the same height, so almost identical tail to tape.
Ottoman Empire. I got him in
Ottoman
the fight.
Empire. That's a good nickname for him.
Yeah.
Empire.
That is a good name.
That fight's going to be interesting, though. You know, any lightweight guy, like if you're 15-2, like Sakarian.
Yeah.
Sakarian.
Lauren Sakarian.
If you're 15-2 and you get a win and you get put top 15, and then you get another win, you might be 12, and then another win, you could be like top 8. But if you're 13-0 and you get a win, you're probably going to 12, and then if you get another win, you're probably going to 6, 7 right away.
Yeah, that catapults you right up there.
Depends on your performance.
Absolutely,
as
but
well
an
as your
undefeated record
Yeah.
definitely carries more weight going into the top 15 than even if you have one loss.
Mm,
You know what I
okay.
mean? 2 losses for sure.
Yeah.
Unless Sakarian's on like a 13-fight win streak and he was 1-2 to start his career and then he hasn't lost then.
Like Conor, back when he got choked down, he went, like fucking almost 7 years without getting beat?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. But Conor had already went like 4 years undefeated, then he lost, then he went 7 years undefeated.
Yeah, fucking pull one of those and you're going to become a big name.
Right. So especially if you get to the UFC, even if you're like we saw with Anderson Silva too. Like Anderson Silva was 9-4 when he got to the UFC, but he won 16 fights in a row. So I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to make him fight 5 fights before a title shot? No, you're going to give it to the hot hand. Especially Dana White, who's trying to sell people.
Oh, yeah, you got to make that move.
The lightweight division's tougher. You know, once you crack the top 7, 8, it's going to take you a couple fights to get to number 1 because the level of talent is ridiculous. All right. Dylan, you can go for the women's fight then, since I fucked up your cheat sheet.
It's all fucked up for
Oh,
me.
wait, now it's fine. Now it's fucked up.
Nah, it's definitely right.
We got Jessica I, number 6. I?
Yeah.
Aye. Wow. Third
Yeah,
eye.
all right.
Aye.
13-8 versus Joanna Calderwood, 14-5, number 7.
Women's flyweight division. That is Shevchenko, who, by the way, Shevchenko is named Women's Fighter of the Year.
Good.
She only had 1 fight, and it was dominant, but like there's definitely
got it last
other
year.
women's that I believe could have gotten that.
Who do you think should have done it?
Like someone like Carla Esparza, who went 2-0, and she was the underdog both times. You have like Weili Zhang, who won the fight of the year. She could have been it.
She could have.
But Shevchenko's a huge name. You know, I'm sure if Nunes had a fight, she would have been it, but she didn't fight at all.
I think that was
Definitely.
Shevchenko's closest fight other than Nunes, but Shevchenko actually got like her weaknesses a bit exposed in that
Absolutely.
fight
Agreed.
But again, I mean, like she won the first round, and then she got dominated in the second round to the point it was almost a 10-8. We've never seen Shevchenko in that position. And then in the next 3 rounds,
She was a champ, right, too?
yeah, Shevchenko is the champ.
Yeah.
And then in the next 3 rounds, Shevchenko didn't even stand with her. She took her down and dominated her on the ground to show that round was a slip up. And let me show you how dominant it can be.
Or it's
It was a
because-
great performance with 1 round. That
too. It was. And it was a good fight. I really wasn't expecting a good fight from the her nameless opponent,
It was Jennifer Maya. But we cut off
Was it
Austin. I'm
Jennifer Maya?
sorry.
No. Or it's because she doesn't feel confident in her stand-up game with that opponent.
I don't think that's the
Shevchenko
case.
totally would have murdered the girl.
Yeah.
Shevchenko stood the whole time against Nunes. You know, Shevchenko is like the best kickboxer, including Nunes in the UFC.
Yeah.
Women's.
That's badass.
I was just saying in that particular fight, if she just kept taking it to the ground for 3 rounds, you know what I mean?
I got Joanna Calderwood. Joanna Calderwood is on a 2-fight win streak.
I think
She lost to Shevchenko before that. So I think she's trying to get back there. And I think she is a good matchup for Shevchenko. She's a little taller and she's a kickboxer.
I think she's a good fighter, dude. Honestly,
So I'm going to pick Calderwood.
I got Calderwood.
I got Calderwood as well.
All right, boys. Here we go. Meat and potatoes.
Meat and
I don't
potatoes.
think
And
she's
before
on,
we
I
do
don't think
that-
she's on a 2-fight win streak though.
She might only be 1.
She lost in like October to someone because I freaking
What's Hooker's record?
I bet the deed on her.
Dan
and she
Hooker's
lost.
record's 20-9. So they both got.
Before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching MMA Complete, brought to you by SFBNRI. Check out all SFBNRI platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Twitter, and check out MMA Complete, newest YouTube channel, and Twitter. And
New podcast.
all that shit.
All that shit.
All that shit.
Had to take a quick break
I don't know
for
about
some
this one,
parchment.
man.
What happened?
I don't know.
Parchment.
They're normally
need to twist
twist tabs.
They are twists.
Yeah,
Uh,
not this one.
I got a lighter somewhere.
I got my.
Need me to do it?
Yeah, please.
Oh, that's a
thanks,
bitch. That's
thanks,
a
Bob.
bitch. That's a bitch move.
Listen, man, I ain't gonna hurt my thumb. If
Listen,
someone's
man.
doing
One of the manliest things you can do is admit that you need help. Fuck that. One of the most manliest things you can do is knock out motherfuckers in the UFC
it.
right
Feel
now.
this. Feels red.
What's it
Uh,
called?
cheers.
Feel it.
Oh yeah, it is
Cheers.
fucked up. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
So that was probably horrible to any listener.
Yeah, but it's all good. Good thing. Yeah.
All right, so co-main event.
Yeah.
A sneaky, great fight that only got introduced to the card, I'm pretty sure, like 2 weeks ago. You know, we know Chandler's been training his ass off since November.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he left Bellator, I believe, in September and was signed to the UFC in October.
Mm.
So he's probably been training the whole time. Dan Hooker's, I mean, they all train the whole time. But Dan Hooker, his last fight was in May against Poirier.
Yeah.
It was one of the fights of the year. I think it was number 3 in the UFC's rankings. And Hooker lost that fight, although it was close. And who knows? I mean, it's tough when you see these fighters that come back after like 8-9 months, especially when they're fighting a guy who people underrate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that Dan Hooker's been under training at all. I'm sure he's been training his ass off. But Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker lightweight bout is the co-main event for UFC 257. Dan Hooker 20-9, Michael Chandler 21-5. Michael Chandler is making his UFC debut after
Crazy.
16 fights in Strikeforce, 16 fights in Bellator, 2 fights in Strikeforce. Former Bellator lightweight champ of 2 times, beat Eddie Alvarez the first time. This is a clash of styles.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Chandler, especially making his UFC debut, is going to look to come into that ring and dominate Dan Hooker on the ground.
I think that's the
That's
That's the
definitely
way
the
he
game
wins.
plan.
That
That's
is the
definitely
way he
game
wins
plan.
right there.
I think so too, because Dan Hooker has the reach advantage.
Mm.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Dan Hooker's got experience.
I think he's got better boxing.
I think
definitely
that I
better
think
boxing.
Dan Hooker has the better boxing. Dan Hooker's also fought better
I
competitors.
was just gonna say,
he has a better resume.
Absolutely.
That being said, you know, Dan Hooker hasn't beaten anybody top 5 at lightweight. Like he's number 6 because he hasn't beaten any of the top 5, but he's beaten a lot of other people in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Chandler hasn't fought anybody besides Eddie Alvarez of note.
In Bellator.
Benson Henderson. Right?
He did fight
Strikeforce.
Benson Henderson in Strikeforce, and he beat Benson Henderson, but Benson Henderson's 39. So, I mean, former lightweight champ, but definitely past his prime. Dan Hooker's 30. Michael Chandler's 34.
Okay.
Michael Chandler's jacked. He's only 5'7".
Yeah, he's looking
Guy's
like a
fucking
fucking
ripped, dude.
Yeah.
freight
He has
train.
knockout power, but Dan Hooker probably has better technique, and he's definitely used to standing in the ring.
These top 10 lightweights.
Right. And I mean, he almost beat Poirier.
I think this is Dan Hooker.
Depends if
It depends
he's
how he does on the
enough.
ground.
Well,
Yeah.
Chandler looks like
For
he's
real.
Stuffs
just
the takedowns.
Yeah.
Stays
I
up with
mean,
him.
he's 30. It's not like he's out of his prime. You know what I mean?
He's
So he's
quicker,
been
got
fighting in the
advantage,
UFC a
reach
while.
advantage.
I don't think
Probably a better striker.
I think there's very little chance that Hooker stays on his feet the whole time.
If
I
he
think
can-
Chandler's going to get 1 or 2 takedowns.
He's definitely going to get.
if he can stuff most of them and those takedowns come later in the round,
Mhm.
then I think this is Dan Hooker's fight. But if he can't stuff Chandler's takedowns, he's done.
But we've seen it. Michael Chandler has knockout power. He has
Oh, yeah.
one-punch knockout power.
Where do you place
But so does Dan Hooker.
Hooker if he wins, though?
If Hooker
'Cause
wins,
that's still not a top
That's
That's
what I
five
mean.
fighter.
It's very tough. I
Chandler's
think
not
Dan
ranked.
Hooker should
It's
face
a-
Dustin Poirier.
it's a
after.
great question.
So
Let me pull up the lightweight
Poirier-
rankings
It's
again.
just going to be a rematch. Poirier, Hooker 2.
So lightweight rankings, we have
Makes
Gaethje
sense.
at 1.
Yeah.
We have Poirier at 2, Oliveira at 3, Conor at 4, Tony at 5.
Ooh,
Tony's still
I didn't
top
know
5.
that. I did not know that.
Underneath Hooker, by the way, we have Rafael Dos Anjos, who
Oh, yeah,
had a
he's-
win over Paul Felder, and Paul Felder's 7. So, for the record, the top 5 of the lightweight division is very dense. But the top 15, like if there's a guy on a roll, he could do some hopping there. He could get over some of these guys like Paul Felder, like Ali Aquinta, who hasn't fought in a year.
Yeah.
You know,
all these
fighting.
people that have been there for a while, and
But to answer your question,
They're
I
just taking
think
up space.
they are,
so. It's also going to depend on the Poirier McGregor fight, right?
especially in such a competitive division.
If McGregor loses, being that he's ranked 4, and Dan Hooker beats Michael Chandler,
You're saying if McGregor loses?
yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say
Big
the
if.
I'm gonna say the other
Big
side
if.
too.
Saying whoever loses the main event faces whoever.
No.
wins.
I'm just talking strictly rankings because he asked me where do I think Hooker's gonna be ranked if he beats Chandler. Being that Hooker's 6, and then you have Ferguson at 5, Conor at 4. If Conor loses and Hooker wins, I can see Hooker going to 4.
Yeah.
Skipping Ferguson, and then McGregor will probably go down to 6. He might even stay at 5, and Ferguson get pushed down to 6.
Yeah, there's no way McGregor.
But the
Big
real
if.
question
Big
is, where do you see Michael Chandler getting ranked? Oh,
If
by
he
the way,
wins.
He
if
beats.
McGregor,
he
he
pushes.
That's
won't,
tough.
he won't get
He
another
pushes Tony
contract,
down.
maybe.
no, I'm sure
Is he on a
has
one-fight
multiple-
contract?
No, I'm sure he has a multiple fight contract.
He probably
Um,
does.
if Chandler wins, I think he goes right to top. I think he goes right to 5. I think he skips
He
Ferguson
might
and Hooker.
take 6. He might not push.
You think-
Ferguson
would you-
down.
You-
I would push.
2 losses
Ferguson
in a
down.
row.
I
Why
would
not?
put
Yeah,
him
just take
over
6.
Ferguson,
I think,
especially if I'm
Ferguson
Dana. I would put you. We've seen hype trains before. If Michael Chandler beats Dan Hooker, that's the next hype train in lightweight. I'm just telling you.
Well,
I'm
he's
just letting
been
you know.
advertising him now for like how many months? Like
He-
4 months?
He
5
signed
months?
him off the street, off Strikeforce.
Yeah.
And he immediately was the replacement in the biggest fight of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
last
well-
year. Biggest fight of last year. Khabib
Yeah.
versus Gaethje.
Yeah.
So,
I really think the future division is
Oliveira.
Charles
Yeah.
Oliveira, dude.
Yeah.
He's
I agree with
definitely,
you.
he's definitely taking that crown
I
eventually.
wrote about it in my article. If Poirier wins,
Yep.
I think that Poirier gets the title shot. But if McGregor wins, I think that Oliveira gets the title shot because I know McGregor's not going to want to compete in the next 4 months.
No, he wants to go to boxing, I believe.
Right. I think
He
there's
said that- he
there's
said
a
that in
rumored
that
fight
interview.
against Pacquiao.
That's some money right there.
This has been
That's what
Of
Connor.
course it is.
That's what's Connor chasing at this point.
and they have the same agent.
Right. That's right. That's why the fight was
Yeah.
being rumored because they now have the same agent.
And it makes sense, dude. It makes total sense.
All right.
Like,
so
why not?
running out of
Big dollar
time
fight.
here.
Fucking
Who do
Logan
you-
Paul.
Who do you guys got? I got Chandler.
I got Dan Hooker.
I got Dan Hooker.
I might eat my words because Chandler.
I
does
think
have
I'm
the
gonna eat my
ability.
words. I think Hooker's probably the favorite either way.
If his sprawl's good enough, he can beat Michael Chandler. But
Definitely. All right, main event. Connor's return. The place is going to go absolutely crazy, even though there's only like 5 people going to be in there.
I heard there's going to be 2,000.
I think they did sell somewhat of a gate. I think they did.
The Notorious.
I don't think Connor would have fought if there wasn't people in the crowd.
Kissed him.
What the fuck?
Saw it here first.
That shit's sick.
Everybody kiss him.
I think I'm good.
I'm not kissing
It's
it.
Corona season, man.
Yeah, you guys can keep that. Make sure that doesn't fall because I don't want that jack spilling.
No, it's gonna fall. Trust me.
There you go.
You want to push that jack back?
It didn't move.
Can you just push it so it's up against the picture?
Jesus.
Okay, it is.
Thank you.
Jesus.
So
Fuck.
Conor Poirier. We've been talking about this for like a month and a half now. Conor predicted a 60-second knockout.
Mystic Mac.
I'm predicting a decision.
60
Really,
second
a
knockout.
decision?
No.
I think it's a decision.
No.
I
Five-
think this goes
5-minute rounds?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow, you're
no.
gonna eat that. You're gonna eat those words.
I think it at least goes to the 4th.
Third, maybe.
10%
thinking
chance.
second.
This is like
most.
this is probably lower than 10%
Now,
chance.
do you guys all have Conor by knockout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Connor by knockout.
TKO.
I don't know if I do, man.
I got
Like the
Conor
more
by
I've
TKO.
read into this,
No.
I'm gonna.
Have you seen the competition for his fees? It's
So-
nowhere near the caliber of.
We can't, like I said, we
And we've
can't talk
talked
about
about this.
betting. But let me just tell you guys the odds as of this morning when I checked.
I can look at him right now.
Those are pretty nice
Can I
looking.
guess it? 140.
Dude, Conor.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah.
Heavy favorite.
So Connor's the heavy favorite, as everybody expected him to be.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be that high, but I was expecting it to be something like that. Dude, I think Poirier has a fucking chance. I 100% do.
I mean, he has a chance, but it's a 10%
Like,
chance.
no, I'm giving him like a 40.
Really? That
chance.
high? Okay. All right.
I
I'm gonna
think
15, dude.
Yeah.
I think that
10%.
10-15.
Connor
I'm
is going to
safe.
throw a couple combinations in the first round. Poirier is going to eat him. Poirier is going to take him down, and again take him down in the second round. And then by
Okay.
the third round, I think Connor's going to be a little gassed. Poirier is going to play with him. I'm not saying that Connor's not going to knock him out because obviously I think that there's a great chance Connor knocks
You
him out.
just got the
You
power.
see the under and over odds.
What is it, like 1.5?
You should take those if you think that's
2.5.
going to go like that.
Yeah,
Over 2.5.
yeah.
Connor's also looking very big.
You
compared
said
to
at
normal.
least. You said
Yeah,
You said
155.
4
He's looking
though.
very muscular.
Well, he's lightweight.
You see the under?
So
Under's crazy, dude.
Everybody wants under.
That's safe.
Yeah,
That's-
it's the under's wicked. Well, I mean, the numbers could be like that, so people bet on it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So if I had to go put money on it, I'm picking Connor. All I'm saying is Poirier has a fucking shot, and I'm not going to be shocked if he wins.
Well, he's got a fighting chance, obviously. And he
I'm
has been
saying more than a
improving.
fighting chance, though. I think
last time
a
they
fighting
fought-
chance is disrespect to
The
Conor.
last
It's best
time
Poirier.
he fought with
Mm.
Connor, he was only 24, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was 6.5 years ago.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
plenty of room for improvement there. Now
There's
he's
plenty
30
of room.
in his prime, but so is Connor.
So since
Plenty of
then,
room for improvement for Connor. Dude,
since
in 6.5
then,
years.
Connor's 4-2.
Yep.
Poirier's 10-2. Poirier won the interim belt, and Poirier's only losses are to Khabib and I think Max Holloway. I think Holloway beat him in like 2017, 2016.
I think Connor fucks up Max Holloway.
I think Connor gets humbled.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, that's an interesting view on it.
I'm
It
just
is an
saying.
It is
Yeah.
interesting.
Like I said, if I had to put money on it, I'm going to pick Connor. But I think that Poirier is going to surprise a lot of people.
I hope he does because that'll make for a better fight.
Right.
First
Yeah.
off, which is
Yeah.
what you always want. But he does
If
have a
we
chance.
see a 60-second
Yeah,
knockout,
face.
I'll fucking
do some shit.
I'll wear
Bow on it
dunce
right
cap.
now.
I'll wear
Okay,
a
dunce cap. Zach said it here.
for the podcast after it because I'm not
Okay.
going to have a dunce cap by Saturday.
I think Conor McGregor. I think his trash talk overlooks his skills. Like people look at his trash talk more than his skills. I think his skills are very,
They're
very
Same level, I'd say.
undermined.
I
Not
would-
underrated, undermined.
I would say that. All right, so we're talking boxing. We're not talking kickboxing.
Yeah.
Although Conor can kick for sure. I would say he's the most precise boxer the UFC's ever seen.
He is.
It's very slow.
Yeah.
It's very
I'd say.
methodical.
He's not the most powerful. He has
he's
some of the best
accurate.
accuracy ever.
Yeah, great time.
Ever, and it's proven.
And it's only gotten better since he boxed Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean?
He's
should
rocked
never
him.
have
And
made it
then
that
he
far.
practices wrestling as much as he can to fight Khabib. Like, he's all around. Now, he's definitely not as good as wrestling. And I don't think he's even as good of a wrestler as Poirier.
His
Okay.
defense,
But he's a good wrestler now.
His defense in wrestling's
Yeah. He
very,
stuffed like
very
3
good.
Khabib takedowns.
That's big because
Yeah.
wrestling defense. Poirier has been wrestling longer than Connor. He's obviously
Right.
going to be the better offensive wrestler.
Mhm.
But what Connor can train and become really good at rapidly is takedown defense.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been focusing on his entire career, probably since he got choked out.
Yeah,
Probably.
he does not want that to happen again.
And you know that Connor's coming into that ring with a dick full of confidence.
Always.
Dude,
Always.
he
Always.
should, and he has every right to.
As we've seen over the last couple of years, the fighters that dance coming to the ring always have a great advantage. You got Connor with the,
Yeah, that shit.
the little shoulders.
Dude,
See the compilations on
Connor's
YouTube of him.
Connor's basically the champ right now, dude.
No.
He is.
No, he's not.
He's the last one to hold the belt if Khabib's retired.
I mean, that's
who's Gaethje's next?
like Gaethje's
Good question.
interim. So when you call
Charles
that the
Oliveira
last
for
belt,
the belt.
Mm.
we're gonna have to see who wins McGregor Poirier before that fight's announced.
If Poirier
I think-
wins, then he deserves it.
I
Listen,
saw
there's a
I saw a
chance-
report on Twitter that it's Charles Oliveira.
There's a
Gaethje's
chance that Gaethje gets passed on
Rumor.
for the lightweight belt.
He might.
It's a
because he
slim
got beat.
chance, and I think that it should not happen. But there's a
Shouldn't
chance.
happen. Should not happen.
No.
The lightweight division is so interesting. Real quick, let me have another plug. If you go to sfbnri.com, I posted 2 articles. I'm posting the third tomorrow. They're all titled Connor's Return. It's a 3-part series of the articles that go into depth of all this, including the lightweight division. That being said, if I'm going to make a prediction, like I said, I just think that it's possible it goes 5 rounds. I
Yeah,
think it
okay.
will. But I'm going to say
So
Connor
you do, you don't.
knockout TKO. Conor TKO, third round.
Third round.
And I'm going to say,
You're
It's-
choosing 3, 4, and 5, man.
Yeah.
You gotta choose one.
well, I'm saying right now, I'm choosing Conor
This is
TKO
his like actual choice.
This is your actual choice.
in the
Conor,
back half of the third.
TKO.
So, like,
This is your choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Third round. End of the third round.
That's what
I'm saying beginning of second.
I'm saying.
I'm saying second round too.
I'm gonna stick to what I've said. Beginning of second.
I should have gone Poirier, but I'm going to stick to it.
Hey,
Hey,
if you do get Poirier and you get it right, I'll tip my fucking hat off
If
to you. I swear
Poirier
to
wins 60 seconds via knockout, I'll wear the dunce cap.
If Poirier wins,
If Poirier wins,
that would, Twitter would never be the same.
no, it wouldn't.
God. Connor's reputation would be definitely.
There would be
hurt.
no fights for a
If
while.
Poirier
he's gonna be
beats-
fighting Logan Paul.
If Poirier beats McGregor in 60 seconds, oh no, Khabib already beat Poirier. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple minutes because we're supposed to be getting off now, but we can go for like another 5 minutes.
Okay.
We can talk about on the back here cheat sheet the fights that we have upcoming for the first quarter of 2021 or the first third of 2021.
That's a good 258.
258 is scheduled. Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns, welterweight title.
313.
Real quick,
Edwards
Usman all day.
Kamaev.
because we only got like 5 minutes to do all these, so we're just gonna shoot right through them.
All right, go.
I got Kamaru Usman.
Me as well.
Usman.
Both of these guys are training partners and almost like brothers, so it's going to be a very emotional and probably close battle. But I think Kamaru Usman is going to win. I don't know if he does it by knockout because I don't know if he wants to knock out Burns. But I think Usman has the capability of going 5 rounds.
Scary strong.
I would definitely choose a decision for that fight.
Next, UFC 259, we have Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya for the light heavyweight battle. We have Israel Adesanya stepping up to 205, gaining 20 pounds
Yeah, big.
to go fight Jan
It's gonna look
Blachowicz.
scary.
He'll probably
I
be
think-
fighting at that weight.
I think Jan Blachowicz is overrated anyway. He's 37. He only got the title because John Jones left.
Exactly.
Dominic Reyes had a bad fight against him.
Yep.
Dominic Reyes is probably the better fighter and the younger
He
fighter.
is the better fighter. He went 5 rounds with John Jones, dude.
Okay.
I mean, Blachowicz beat him, knocked him out. So, can we really say that? Probably
No,
not.
but he had a bad fight. We watched that fight. He
Right.
had a. It was not the Dominic Cruz that we saw in John Jones' fight. If it was,
Dominic Reyes. not
Dominic Reyes, I'm sorry, Dominic Reyes. If we saw him,
Yeah.
how he was in the John Jones fight, he would have won.
You got Blachowicz, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
I do.
We all have that. No, you
You
don't.
do?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a
We're gonna have
gamble
to
here.
talk about that.
I'm going to just take
Wow.
a gamble
I like
here
that, though,
about the
because-
Adesanya weight class change and how much it'll affect him. I do think
He will be
Adesanya.
slow.
I think
in reality,
Adesanya
he's
has a
gonna
knockout
finish
in the
him,
first round, and I mean
But-
knockout.
he will be slow.
It'll be interesting to see how he fights it.
You got Adesanya? All right. So also for UFC 259, we have what's the next one? I forgot.
Anderson versus Nunez.
Oh yeah, Amanda Nunes' returner versus Megan Anderson.
Woo!
Not much to say about that. Amanda Nunes is gonna win.
Man, it's gonna.
Not much
And
to say.
is Jan and versus Sterling also on that card?
That's rumored.
Rumored. Okay.
So
don't
Piotr
talk about
Jan
that.
is rumored to defend his bantamweight title against Aljamain Sterling, the fight that was originally supposed to take place UFC 256 in December.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a little bit. I got Sterling.
I guess Sterling.
Really, I know you're a Jan fan.
No.
No? Okay. Well,
Who did
That
he
Polish power.
Aldo and
Huh?
Who's
yes, that's Polish. The short guy.
Yeah,
He beat
I got
he beat
Sterling.
Jose Aldo.
I got Sterling.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you guys.
Jan is better standing, but Sterling's better on the ground.
Yeah.
Where
Much
it
better.
comes down to.
Much better.
You can get
And Sterling has this unorthodox style. He kind of like goes like this and shit. I got Sterling, but that's going to be a
It's
close
kinda-
fight.
it's kinda
Rumored,
cool style.
not 100% for UFC 250.
How about UFC's UFC 260 here.
You
Is this
this
confirmed?
is the guy. Is this confirmed?
This is
So
confirmed, okay.
Miocic and Ngannou 2 is confirmed
I'm
for UFC 260.
scary.
yeah, it is scary.
Miocic is the underdog.
I bet because that knockout power, it's literally.
Nah,
There
dude, I
it
got
is.
Miocic again.
I'm
I got
no, I'm
Miocic.
picking
I got
Miocic
Miocic.
just because what he did do in last fight.
And I want to see Miocic versus
But
John Jones.
but Ngannou could totally
If he
knock him
loses,
out.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
100%.
If he gets lucky, forgets to pull his head once.
Right. It could be over.
Yeah.
And then the last fight that we're going to talk about, rumored so far, but it's a strong rumor because Dana White's been talking about it.
Looking forward to it.
Alexander
That's right.
Volkanovski
yes.
versus Brian Ortega.
He
Go
needs
Brian.
to.
And Alexander Volkanovski is going to fuck up Brian Ortega.
You really think so?
Yes.
I'm gonna pick Ortega just
Okay.
because I'm a fan.
I think I'm going to say Ortega too.
This might be a trap fight for Brian Ortega.
It might
Could
be.
be.
It might be a trap fight. You came off of one fight after fighting 2 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the champ on this one.
It's just because they can't put Max Holloway in there with him.
I know.
that quick.
Right, because Max Holloway, and look for Max Holloway versus Zabit Magomedsharipov. That's the next featherweight number one contender fight to make.
That
Hopefully
will
Ortega doesn't win, and then he has to fight
Fuck up
Volkanovski again.
yeah.
And, but who knows? Featherweight division's going strong so far in 2021, and that's going to be a good division to follow.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to about do it for
No. Edwards Kamaev.
All right.
313.
This is Austin's guy. He loves him.
go.
Kamaev.
Come
Whole way.
I got Leon
The whole
Edwards.
way. You don't
Edwards.
even need to explain.
I got Edwards.
So Kamaev, he's
Sick
been on a
man.
hot roll. He's got what, 4 fights in the UFC, or is that total?
I will never.
There's 3
make
fights in
another
the
Three
fight
fights in the
now.
UFC, and he's been knocking people out real fucking quick.
Dominantly.
Yeah.
It's 4-0.
3 now.
It's gonna be 5-0.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 5-0.
This is also versus number 3 ranking in the fucking, what is it, middleweight, welterweight division. And I don't think people are giving Edwards enough credit, for his time in the UFC and the people that he has beaten to stay at number 3.
I agree with you. He hasn't fought in a couple years, which is why people forgot about him.
Yeah.
So that fight's going to be the headliner fight night of the fight night right after UFC 259
313.
on March 13th. That's going to about do it for
It's
us.
gonna be a great fight night.
That is the weekly podcast,
Welcome.
another Thursday in the books. Everybody and your mom, come check out the live stream reaction video
And
that
your
we're going to
father,
have
your
for
daughter,
UFC
your sons,
257.
your cousins.
Tell your
Tell your
friends,
neighbors.
tell everybody.
Hide your kids, hide
we-
your wife.
Tell your
I'm going to start the stream at
Dogs.
6 p.m.
All right.
You guys
I'm down.
come whenever you want. We're going to 1 p.m., so pace yourself.
1
1
a.m.
a.m.
1 a.m.
That would be
Pace yourself.
6 p.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah,
Whoa.
9
p.m.
We're also going to have our buddy Mike and maybe his brother Colby coming to the show as well.
Cool.
But that's going to do it for us.
Clan,
Definitely
I
come
guess.
check us out.
The clan.
All SFBNRI platforms, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that shit. Stay tuned, actually, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. And thank you to all the MMA Complete YouTube viewers that might have seen this. I don't even know if it's live right now. I was going to check. I totally forgot to. I don't think it is. What was I? Oh, stay tuned for Ocean State Athlete podcast hosted by Chris Carbano Jr. He's just started the podcast and he's been doing really well with it. So go check it out. He's also putting out articles every week on the Spotlight, Rhode Island Athlete of the Week. That's all I got to say. Anybody else?
Yeah, you ready for the fight?
You guys
ready
excited
for
for
that fight?
Saturday?
I'm fucking
Yeah.
pumped.
Connor's coming back. Can't
Okay.
wait. Hope we get to see you all there. Thank everybody for tuning in, and we're out of here.